Hello, can you guys hear me? We just got hit by lightning really bad and our computer, pretty much the outlet and everything blew, so we had to restart everything. So sorry about that. Anyway, welcome back to another Toxic Tuesday. It's your host Luma and I'm so excited that you're here. Sorry about that. We've never lost power like that before. The storms have been really bad recently. Really bad, actually. Anyway, it's Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. I'm so excited for you guys. I have a lot of great content this week. It's gonna be amazing. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. And we're going to get started. Anyway, how have you guys been? Everything been good? That's good, that's good. Me, it's just been a lot of storms recently. It's just been raining and raining and raining and raining and raining and raining, which has been fun. Anyway, welcome back to another Toxic Tuesday. I'm so excited to have you guys here. I'm really excited because I get constantly asked about dating after you've been through a toxic relationship. And if you're new here, welcome to the Date or Detonate family, where we drag red flags through the mud and teach you how to block, bless, and bounce with style. And if you've been following our journey, you'll know that we covered last week and the week before how to leave a toxic and abusive relationship. And then we did our check-in stream to see how everyone's doing. And the number one question that I've been getting in my DMs is, okay, I'm out and I'm healing, but how do I ever trust someone again? How do I date without losing myself like I did before? And that is a wonderful, amazing question. A very loaded question, and I'm very happy to answer that for you today. So grab your favorite beverage. Mine's a Red Bull. And you're gonna need the energy for this deep dive, and we're gonna talk about how to open your heart again without losing your mind, your boundaries, or your beautiful, hard-won sense of self. Alright, so let's get started about where you might be right now, okay? If you clicked on the stream, you're probably in one of these situations, okay? You're the terrified turtle. You've been out of your toxic relationship for a little while and you're healing, but the thought of dating again makes you want to hide under a rock forever. You're like, what if I attract another toxic person? How can I tell the difference? What if I lose myself again? That's a great question. Or you're the serial swiper. You've jumped back into dating, maybe a little too quickly, and now you're seeing and realizing that you're probably not as healed as you thought. Every date seems triggering, and you're seeing red flags everywhere, even when they might not exist, and you're exhausted. We understand that. We've been there. Or you're the overanalyzer. You're ready to date in theory, but you're so hypervigilant about the red flags that you're overanalyzing every text message. Someone says, good morning, and you're like, oh my god, is this love bombing? Are they being too intense? That's a great question. Or you're the boundary fortress. You've built walls so high that nobody else can get in. You're protecting yourself so hard that you can't actually connect with anyone, and now you're starting to wonder whether you'll actually ever be vulnerable again. That's deep. If you guys are just joining us live, please make sure you hit a fire emoji in the chat. We're so excited to have you here. We're also taking live questions. If you guys have any questions, please let us know. Alright, I want you to know that all of these responses are completely normal after coming out of a toxic relationship. Your nervous system's been through some trauma, okay? Give it some time. It's trying to protect you. The key is learning how to stay protected without closing off forever. I know. This is easier said than done, okay? But I'm gonna drop a truth bomb on you guys right now. You cannot heal in isolation forever, okay? Eventually, you'll want to be in a healthy relationship, right? That's the goal. And you're gonna have to risk being vulnerable again. But this time, you're gonna have to do it with wisdom and boundaries and a much better bullshit detector, my friends. Okay? Now, are you actually ready? Before we talk about how to date after toxicity, we need to talk about when, my friends. Because I'm gonna be real with you. If you're not ready, if you're truly not ready, dating is just gonna re-traumatize you and potentially hurt other people in the process. I know, that was deep. Now we're gonna go over the I think I'm ready checklist, okay? The I think I'm ready checklist. Let's go through this together. Checklist 1. You're genuinely happy being single. Are you? That doesn't mean you never feel lonely. or that you don't want a relationship. It means you've built a life that you actually enjoy, yourself. And you have hobbies and friends and goals that fulfill you. And you're not looking for someone to complete you or fix your problems, because you already do that on your own. Then we can check that off. We got an anonymous message that said, well, what if I still feel lonely sometimes? Feeling lonely occasionally is human. The question is, are you looking for a relationship to escape the loneliness or to add to your already fulfilling life? Thank you for that question, by the way. Checklist number 2. You've processed the trauma from your past relationship. Well, have you? This usually means you've done some therapy. Congratulations, my friend. You understand the patterns that led you into toxicity, and you've worked through the trauma bond. And now you can talk about your past relationship without being triggered. If you can successfully do that, cross that off the checklist with your green check mark. Great job. Checklist number 3. You can easily spot red flags clearly. Now you know what to look for. You trust your gut. When something else feels off, you trust your gut and you're willing to walk away when you see concerning behavior, even if you really like that person. Checklist for that. Good job. If you can do that, we're going to check that off. Okay. Checklist number 1, 2, 3, 4. You have boundaries and you enforce them. Boundaries is so important, my friends. You know what you will and won't accept. You communicate your needs early, and you don't compromise your values to someone just to keep them around. That's an amazing check mark. If you can do that, let's check that off, okay? Check mark number 5. You have a solid support system. Doesn't have to be just family. It can be friends or someone that you're close with who can give you a different perspective, you know? Call you out if they see you falling into old patterns. Call out the bull and support you through those ups and downs of dating. If you can do that and you have a solid support system, okay, check that off. Check number 6. You're not looking for someone to validate your worth. Your self-esteem isn't dependent on whether someone likes you or wants to be with you. Rejection doesn't send you in the spiral of self-doubt, okay? If you can check off all of those checklists, my friends, then you are probably most likely ready to date after that toxic, abusive relationship. And I am so proud of you. But, let's talk about the red flags if you're not ready, okay? Let's be honest about the signs that you should probably wait a little bit longer, okay? Red flag 1. You're still talking about your ex consistently. If every conversation circles back to your toxic ex, you're not ready. You should be able to go days or weeks without even thinking about them. Red flag 2. You're looking for someone to heal you. Worst excuse ever. If you're hoping to hop into a new relationship that will fix magically your trust issues, heal your trauma, and make you feel whole, you're not ready. That's not fair to you or your potential partners. You need to heal first, my friend. Red flag 3. You're rebounding hard. If you're trying to prove to yourself or your ex that you're desirable by jumping into dating immediately, slow down, my friend. Rebound relationships rarely work out well. Red flag 4. You can't be alone with your thoughts. If you need constant distraction from your own mind, if silence makes you anxious, if you can't enjoy your own company, you need to work on that first, okay? No cap. Red flag 5. You're still hoping your ex will come back. If part of you is holding on to the hope that they'll change and you'll get back together eventually, you're not emotionally available for somebody new and you're not ready to start dating, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're watching this live or you're watching this back later, please send us some fire emojis in the comments. We'd love to know if you're here. Okay, let's talk about the timeline question. People always ask me, how long should I wait before dating again? And the answer is, there's no universal timeline. I've seen people who are ready for 6 months. And I've seen people who needed a whole 3 years. It really just depends on a bunch of things. It depends on how long the toxic relationship lasted. It depends on how severe the abuse was. It depends on whether you've done the therapy or other healing work. It depends on your previous relationship patterns. It depends on your natural resilience and processing speed, right? Signs that you might be ready though. Here are some positive indicators that you're probably and you are moving in the right direction, okay? If you can go without thinking about your ex, without intensive emotions, that's a good sign. If you've learned to enjoy company on your own and be alone, that's a good sign. If you have interests and goals that have nothing to do with being in a relationship, that's a good sign. If you can set boundaries without feeling guilty, that's a good sign. If you can trust your own judgment again, that's a good sign. If you're curious about meeting new people, not desperate, that's a good sign. If you can handle rejection without it destroying your self-worth, that's a good sign. If you've identified the patterns that lead you into toxicity, that's also a good sign. Now we're going to talk about rewiring your brain so it can rewire your picker, okay? So let's say that you're determined and you're ready, or at least ready-ish. The next big question is, how do you make sure you don't attract another toxic person? That's a great question. That's why I call it rewiring your picker, because it's basically reprogramming your attraction patterns in your red flag detection system. So we're going to talk about understanding your attention and attraction patterns. First, though, we need to get honest about what you were attracted to before. And no, I don't mean just physical attraction. I mean the personality traits, behaviors, and dynamics that drew you in. These are some common toxic attraction patterns, right? The fixer fantasy. You were attracted to people who seemed broken and troubled because you thought you could help them or save them. This made you feel that you were needed and important. Or maybe you have the intensity addiction. You mistook drama and chaos and emotional intensity for passion and deep connection. Calm, stable people felt boring to you. Or you were the confidence con. You were drawn to people who seemed super confident, charismatic, or successful, not really realizing that sometimes it masks over the narcissism or manipulation. Or you were the rescue romance. You were attracted to people who seemed to need you desperately, who made you feel like you were their savior or their only hope. Or the familiar dysfunction. You were drawn to people who recreated familiar patterns from your childhood or past relationships, even when those patterns were unhealthy. Rewiring your attraction system is so important. The good news is that the attraction patterns can be changed, but it takes conscious effort and practice. Okay, we're going to go over the steps. Step 1, identify your old patterns. Write down the traits you were attracted to in past toxic partners and be specific. Okay, I'm going to give you guys some homework. How did they make you feel in the beginning? What behaviors did you find exciting or attractive? What did you tell yourself about the red flags? What needs were they meeting or pretending to meet? Step 2, understand the underlying needs. For each attraction pattern you need to rewire in your brain, identify the underlying need. For example, if you were attracted to fixers, maybe you feel the need to feel needed and important. If you like the intensity, maybe you have a need or a desire for excitement and passion. If you were confident, maybe you need the security and stability. Step 3, find healthy ways to meet those needs. Need to feel needed? Volunteer, mentor someone, or get a pet. You need some excitement? Travel! Try new hobbies, take new risks in healthy ways. You need security? Build your own financial stability. Create a strong support system on your own. Step 4, redefine attractive. What does that mean? Start consciously appreciating different traits, right? Consistency over intensity. Kindness over charisma. Emotional stability over excitement. Respect over passion. Reliability over unpredictability. Now let's talk about some new green flags that you need to be looking out for in your new relationship after leaving a toxic, abusive relationship. These might not give you butterflies immediately, but they're the foundation of healthy relationships, okay? Consistently. They do what they say when they're going to do it. Their mood swing doesn't swing wildly. You know what to expect from them from day one. Respect boundaries. That's a great green flag. When they say no, they accept it gracefully. They understand. They don't push or guilt trip or try to change your mind. Another green flag is emotional regulation. They can handle stress and disappointment and conflict without exploiting or shutting down and taking it out on you. Independence is a great green flag. They have their own life and friends and hobbies and goals. They're not looking for you to be their everything. Growth mindset is a great green flag. They can admit when they're wrong, they're open to feedback, and they're actively working on themselves. Another green flag is secure communication. They can talk about difficult topics with you without getting defensive. They express their needs clearly and listen to yours. The boring is beautiful people. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful principle. Here's something that might actually blow your mind. Healthy relationships can feel boring at first, especially if you're used to toxicity. There's no constant drama to navigate, no emotional roller coaster to ride, no chaos to manage. Instead, there's predictable kindness, steady affection, reliable communication, peaceful conflict resolution, consistent respect. If any of this feels boring to you, that's your trauma talking, babe. Your nervous system got addicted to the adrenaline of toxic relationships. And it happens. Healthy relationships activate your nervous system in the rest and digest mode, which can feel unfamiliar if you're used to fight or flight. Now let's talk about the dating game plan, okay? All right, so you're determined that you're ready. You've checked off your green list, and you feel very confident that you're ready to start the dating pool again. You've started rewiring your picker, and now you actually want to start dating. So let's talk some strategies. I'm trying to give you guys some valuable content here, okay? Phase 1, dipping your toes in. Do not jump into the deep end immediately, my friends. Start small. Practice social interactions. Go to social events with no pressure to meet anyone romantic. Practice conversations with new people in low-stake environments. Join clubs or groups based on your interests. Say yes to group hangouts and parties. Let's practice some online dating with some training wheels. Create a profile, but don't feel pressure to meet anyone immediately. Practice conversations and see how it feels. Use it as a way to practice identifying red flags. Don't take rejection or ghosting personally. It's not about you. Everyone has preferences. Let's talk about some casual date with coffee, right? Keep those first dates short and public. Safety first. Think about them as getting to know you sessions, not auditions for a relationship. The best relationships are friendship first, okay? Ask any marriage counselor, therapist, because when you're married, the love comes and goes, but at least you guys have a solid friendship, right? Think of them as your friend and you want to get to know them first. Don't put pressure on yourself to feel sparks immediately. Focus on whether you enjoy their company first and if they make you feel comfortable. Otherwise, veto. Okay, phase 2, the vetting process. This is where your new red flag system detection comes in. You're going to be more thorough this time, okay? You promise? The first date red flags, right? These are first date red flags you need to look out for, okay? They're late without good reason or apology. They're rude to service staff. They talk about their ex constantly on your date. They try to push physical boundaries. Then they try to rush intimacy or commitment. They don't ask any questions about you. They seem to be performing rather than being genuine. They make you feel uncomfortable in any way. Those are first date red flags. If you get any of those, please detonate and leave the relationship, okay? It's not even a relationship, leave the date. Okay, now we're gonna talk about early dating red flags, okay? They want to spend all their time with you immediately. They get jealous of your friends and family. They try to change your plans or control your schedule. They don't respect your boundaries or physical intimacy. They give you the silent treatment when you're upset. Or they're upset. They pressure you to define the relationship quickly. They make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Those are early dating red flags. Now we're going to talk about communication red flags in the relationship. If they don't respond to text for days without explanation, please detonate and dump them. If they only contact you late at night, they get angry when you don't respond immediately, they send mixed signals about their interest, they avoid serious conversations, they get defensive when you express concerns, they gaslight you or make you question your perception, leave, detonate. Now we're going to talk about phase 3, building something real. If someone passes the initial vetting process, here's how to build a healthy relationship, okay? Take it slow. Don't rush physical intimacy. Don't move in together quickly. Don't merge friend groups immediately. Don't make major life decisions together too soon. Keep your own life and interests to yourself, right? And you need to maintain your independence. Keep your own friends and hobbies. Don't cancel plans with others for last-minute dates. Maintain your own living space for a while. Don't move in with him. Don't be crazy. Keep your own financial independence. Don't lose yourself in the relationship, okay? Communicate your needs. Be clear about your boundaries from the beginning. Express your needs and expectations. Don't hint or expect them to read your mind. Address issues as they come up. Don't let them fester. That only blows up later. Ask for what you want directly, okay? Watch for consistency. Do their actions match their words? Are they the same person in different situations? How do they treat you when they're stressed? How do they handle conflict? Are they reliable and trustworthy? Even when you're dating someone healthy, you're gonna get triggered sometimes. Your nervous system has been through some trauma, and it's gonna react to things that remind yourself of past danger, even when you're actually safe. So let's talk about some common dating triggers. I'm gonna walk you through some triggers you might have experienced and how to handle them. Trigger 1, they don't text back immediately. Trauma response. Panic, anxiety, assuming they're losing interest or cheating. Reality check. Healthy people have lives outside their phone. Coping strategy. Take deep breaths and remind yourself that delayed responses are normal, and engage in a self-soothing activity like cuddle with your blanket or your pet or go to the gym, right? Let's talk about the next trigger. They want to spend time with their friends without you. Trauma response. Fear of abandonment. Jealousy, feeling excluded or replaced. Reality check. Healthy people maintain independent friendships, and that's okay. Coping strategy. Use this time for your own self-care or friend time and remind yourself that independence is healthy. Let's do another trigger. Trigger. They disagree with you or express a different opinion. Trauma response. Fear of conflict. Immediate urge to apologize and change your stance. Reality check. Healthy relationships include respectful disagreement, and that's normal. You're not going to agree on everything, otherwise your relationship's fake AF. Coping strategy. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that conflict doesn't equal danger, and practice staying true to your perspective. Here's another trigger. They're quiet or seem distant. Trauma response. Assuming you did something wrong. Anxiety about the relationship ending. Reality check. People have bad days. People have stress, and sometimes they need space, and that's okay. Coping strategy. Ask directly if everything's okay instead of assuming and giving them space to have their own emotions. Here's another trigger. They want to take things slow physically. Trauma response. Feeling rejected, wondering why they're not attracted to you. Reality check. Healthy people respect boundaries and don't rush intimacy. Coping strategy. Appreciate the respect for boundaries. Remember that slow doesn't mean disinterested. Okay? We're going to talk about the stop technique for managing triggers. When you feel triggered, use this technique. Stop. S is for stop. Stop what you're doing. Don't react immediately. Don't send that anxious text. Don't make that accusation. Don't spiral into worst case scenarios. T is for take a breath. Literally, take 5 deep breaths. That activates your nervous system and helps you think more clearly. O is for observe what's happening. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? What story am I telling myself? Is this based on present reality or past trauma? Now P is for proceed with intention. Now that you've paused and observed, what's the most helpful response? What would you do if you felt completely safe and secure? Communicating your triggers. At some point, you'll need to share them with your partner that you have some triggers from past relationships. Here's how to do it. All right? When to share. Not on the first few dates. When you feel like you can trust someone and you feel safety with them, that's when you can share that. Before your triggers start affecting the relationship. You need to share them when you're in a calm, non-triggered state, okay? How to share. I want you to know that I sometimes get triggered by certain things because of past relationships, and I want you to know it's not about you. It's about my healing process. For example, when you don't text back for a while, sometimes I get really anxious. And I am working on this, but I want you to know so you understand if I seem worried sometimes. I think that's great. What not to say? My ex used to... Don't make it all about your ex. That's weird, bro. You need to... Don't make it the responsibility to manage your triggers, because it's not. If you really cared about me, you would. No, please. Don't manipulate. Red flags and how they respond to your triggers, okay? Do they get annoyed or impatient with your healing process? Do they use your triggers against you in arguments? Do they dismiss your feelings or tell you to get over it? Do they refuse to make small accommodations and help you feel safe? They make it all about them? Those are red flags, and you should definitely be careful. If you have any of these green flags, when they respond, they'll look like this. They listen with empathy and understand you. They ask how they can support you. They're patient with their healing process. They make reasonable accommodations without resentment. They encourage you to continue therapy and work on yourself. And they don't take your triggers personal. Okay, let's talk about maintaining your identity in your new relationship. One of the biggest fears people have after dating in a toxic relationship is losing themselves again. In toxic relationships, you probably become so focused on managing their emotions and keeping the peace, you actually forgot who you were. And this time, we're going to do it differently. Okay, we're going to talk about the identity preservation plan. Keep your own interests. Don't abandon your hobbies, passions, or goals for a new relationship. If you love a painting, keep the painting. If you're working towards a new career goal, do it. A healthy partner will support and encourage your individual interests. That's great. If you maintain your friendships, don't ditch your friends for a new romantic relationship. Your friends knew you before this person and will be there after things don't work out. Plus, maintaining friendships keeps you grounded in who you are outside of the relationship. Keep your own space. Whether it's your own apartment, your own room, your own corner of a shared space, maintain that somewhere that's actually yours entirely. Don't rush to move in together or merge all of your belongings. Continue your personal growth. Keep going to therapy, reading self-help books, working on yourself. Don't stop your healing journey because you're in a relationship. In fact, being in a relationship might bring up new things for you to work on. Make decisions based on your values. Don't compromise your core values just to keep someone around. If something's important to you, it should remain important even when you're coupled up. That shouldn't change. Okay, we're going to talk about the slow merge strategy. Instead of immediately blending your lives together, let's talk about a gradual approach. Month 1 through 3, getting to know each other. Keep your own schedules and routines. Introduce them to 1 or 2 close friends. Share some interests, but maintain your own hobbies. Keep your own living spaces, okay? Month 4 to 6. Deeper integration. Start including them maybe in some social events, but don't go wild. Maybe meet each other's families. Share more of your interests and try some of theirs. And start making some plans together. Okay, now we're going to talk about months 7 through 12. Building something together in your new relationship. Consider more serious commitments, maybe talking about future goals. Possibly move in together if that feels right. Start making some major decisions together. Year 2 plus. Long-term partnership. Make major life decisions together. Fully integrate your social circles. Consider marriage, kids, and major pursuits. Okay? Hope you guys are still with me here. I'm trying to give you guys valuable content. We're going to wrap this up. Warning signs you're losing yourself again. Pay attention to these red flags in your own behavior. You stop doing the things you used to love. You cancel plans with friends for dates consistently. You feel anxious when you're apart from them. You stopped expressing your own needs and preferences. You start feeling like you're walking on eggshells again. You're making excuses for their behavior. And you feel like you can't be yourself around them, okay? So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. So, what do we need to do? We need to have the independence check-in. Every month, ask yourself these questions. Am I still doing things I enjoy? Do I still have my own friends and social life? Am I expressing my needs and opinions? Do I feel comfortable being myself in this relationship? Am I working towards my own goals? Do I feel secure in my own identity? If the answer is no to any of these, it's time to recalibrate. Okay? How to maintain independence without pushing them away. Some people worry about maintaining independence will make their partner feel rejected or unimportant. Here's how to balance it, okay? Communicate your needs. Hey, I really value our time together, and I also need some time for myself and my friendships. This really isn't about you, it's just about me staying healthy and balanced. That's a great way. Or you can say, you want to include them sometimes. You don't have to keep everything separate from them. Sometimes invite them to hang out with your friends or include them in your hobbies. Now, you need to make quality time count. When you're together, be present. Put away your phone, fully engage, and show them that they matter to you, okay? Reassure them, I love spending time with you, and I also love that we both have our own lives to bring to this relationship. That's great. Okay, guys, that's it for Toxic Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we're going to talk about building healthy relationship skills. If you are watching live, please make sure you send us some fire emojis in the chat. And if you are watching back, please leave us some in the comments. We'd love to know if we gave you some value. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys next week.